Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. If you're new around here, thanks for stopping by, and if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back to watch another video. So in today's video guys, what I'm going to be doing is a budget recap video. So I'm going to be recapping my May 2021 budget. So I'm going to show you exactly how things went with my budget for the month. So the budget walkthrough video I'll link up here in case you haven't watched it, so you can kind of see what my plans for the month were versus what actually happened with my plans. So in today's video, I'm going to basically be showing you how things really went and show you how my spending plan went throughout the month. Yeah, let's just say once again, things didn't go according to plan. Like, I don't even know what is going on with me, guys. But do you know what? Every single month, I'm just going to keep refining and keep jigging this budget until I can get it working. I did a recent video the other day, actually, which I'll link up here, which was my reaction to the Humble Pennies budget walkthrough video. And I definitely took a lot of learnings from that video, which I'm going to apply to my June 2021 budget. So that video is going to be coming out soon. So if you're not yet subscribed, subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss that video when it comes out. One of the key things I took away from their budget is the fact that they overestimate on their budget categories. I think the biggest issue I have is that I underestimate on every category. Like, I'm always like, oh yeah, I'm going to spend £150 on groceries, and I end up spending £300, and yeah, things just go to pot that way. So I think I need to find a balance or find some kind of happy medium between setting myself a strict budget, but then at the same time being realistic with that budget as well, so that I don't just set myself up for failure every single month and have to come back here and explain myself to you guys. So anyway, hopefully this is going to be the last time I do one of these videos and show you like I've overspent by hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Famous last words. Let's see how this goes. But that's my plan anyway for the June budget. I'm going to be a bit more realistic with my budget categories and also actually include a few more rows within the different budget categories so that I'm even more clear on where the money's actually going month to month. So yeah, watch this space for my June 2021 budget. But in today's video, like I said, what I'm going to be doing is recapping my May 2021 numbers. So let's get to it. As you would have seen in my May budget walkthrough video, my opening balance was minus £443.37. Yeah, I know it's a lot, but yeah, we spoke about that already, so let's move on. Income, like I say in all my budgeting videos, that is something that we keep private for now. So watch this space. That may change as time goes on. But income is from our different income stream, from myself, my husband, and our different side hustles. So those are the different income streams that we have there. And the total is basically the opening balance minus those incomes that we have. And that's the money that we then allocate to the different spending categories. So just starting off with groceries. So I set myself the budget of £200 grocery budget in the month of May, and I was like, there is no way I'm going over this budget. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure I stick to my budget. And look guys, I actually done it. I actually came in £3.36p under my grocery budget. So that starts off looking good, and it all starts off looking well. But then let's move on to takeaways, and that's where things just go very, very left. Yeah, takeaways was a flop. A big flop. I didn't budget anything for takeaways, which in hindsight, looking back, was probably not a smart move given that lockdown was going to be lifted, restaurants were going to be opening up. I hadn't been inside a restaurant this year, so I was excited when they said we can finally go back to restaurants again. And as you can see, I think I probably got a little bit too excited. We got a little bit too excited, should I say, and we ended up spending £173.36 on takeaways and on restaurants and eating out. So that was a big flop. I think it's out of our systems now, so hopefully we could just return to normality, because that was excessive for us. Like, yeah, we'd never spend that much on a monthly basis on takeaways or eating out. So yeah, £173.36, that's how much was spent on takeaways, and obviously I didn't budget for that, so that just took my whole food category budget well over budget. Lunch, we didn't budget anything and we didn't spend anything. So Costco came in under budget slightly, which was good. So we was happy about that. We had £150 budget and we stuck to it. My husband's the one that actually went to Costco, which is probably why he was able to stick to that list, because yeah, he's a lot more disciplined than I am when it comes to things like this. He had the list of things that he was going to get, and he just got a bit less of some things so that we were able to stick to that £150 budget. So yeah, that was really good. So all in all, the food category came in £170 over budget. So that is not a good start to this budget recap, is it? But to be fair, that was probably the worst part of this recap, but it gets better from here. So then we move on to our home, and our mortgage was the same price it is every month. That was £1,057.21, and we did £100 mortgage overpayment. Council tax has gone up. So I know in my last budget video I mentioned that the council tax had gone up, and I thought that this was the new price, but the mistake I made was this isn't the new price. The £138.35p was like the last payment for the 12 months. So the first 11 months the payment is all the same, and then the last month is always slightly higher. This is the new price for 2021/2022, so it's £140 now, so it's gone up by £1.65p. So yeah, that will be reflected in the June budget walkthrough video. So moving on to utilities, and that was all as budgeted. So water bill £50.15, electricity 20, and gas £80. And all in all, that came in at a total of £150.15. If only every budget category was like this and everything is just as planned, but yeah, I guess life happens. Moving on, we have giving, and if you watch any of these budget videos, you'll know giving is something that we do, but we don't like to disclose the exact amounts that we give, which is why it's blacked out. But yeah, giving, that is as budgeted at the start of the month, so it's always exactly how much we say we're going to give is how much we give, unless there's extenuating circumstances that arise during the month, so things that we didn't foresee coming. But generally speaking, what we say we're going to give at the start of the month is what we end up giving. So then we move on to subscriptions, and TV license, that's £13.37, and that was as budgeted. My husband's mobile phone bill for some reason came in slightly higher. I'm guessing he must have sent a picture message or something that was outside of his allowance or usage, because I don't believe it's time for our contracts to go up, but that might not be the case actually. I need to double check that with him. It came in £1.19 over budget anyway, in any case. My mobile phone bill, £40, it was as budgeted. And then internet, that's gone up, so that's gone up from £26 to £28. So our contract has been renewed, but I definitely want to look at that this month actually to see if we can get a better deal and make sure that we're getting the best price for the internet usage that we're having, particularly after watching the Humble Pennies video and looking at their budget and seeing that they pay £20 for super fast internet. So if they're paying £20 for super fast internet, then I don't need to be paying £28 for mine. So I need to shop around to make sure that we're actually getting the best deal for our internet. So that's something that's on my to-do list for the month of June. So hopefully I can get that down even lower than the 26 we were paying before, as opposed to paying £2 more. Moving on, we have Canva. So Canva, that came in under budget by 57p. As I've mentioned in previous videos, it's charged in US dollars, which is why it varies month for month depending on exchange rate. So yeah, £9.43 was for Canva. Google Drive was £1.59, the same as it is every single month. Moving on to transport, and we budgeted £70 for petrol. And we actually ended up coming in under budget when it came to petrol. So we ended up putting £50 for pence. So that was good that we came in under budget there, because as we go on, you can see that that money was used elsewhere. So like for train, I paid £7.70 to get on a train into London. So I mentioned actually in one of my previous videos, I think it might have been in my income report actually, so you may not have seen it. So I started a new job in the middle of May. So yeah, I had to go into the office to get my laptop and like do the inductions, etc. So that was what that train fare was in the month of May. And then parking, I budgeted £6 for parking, and we only ended up using £2 because I actually only went to the market once in the month of May, even though I had planned to go at least 3 times. Yeah, it never happened. I only went there once. So yeah, I only had to pay for parking that one time. And one thing we didn't budget for was washing the car, but I did end up washing the car because it was filthy, and I need to wash it again because yeah, I think something about the summer, the car just gets dusty and dirty more quickly, and we're using it a lot more now. Things are opening up, so I think car wash is something that I need to actually build into the budget at least once a month to wash the car. I have 3 young boys, so you can imagine how much mess these children make in the car. So yeah, I'm going to build that into the budget moving forward actually, to wash the car once a month. So yeah, that's £15 because the prices have gone all the way up. This time last year, or should I say just before lockdown, it was £10 to wash your car, and now it's £15. But yeah, it is what it is. I had to just take that L and pay it, because as much as I'm like, oh, I should wash my car myself, I just can't bring myself to do it. So in total, we actually came in under budget for the transport category, despite the fact that we had the train fare and the car wash come in. Because of the fact that we spent so little on petrol, it meant that yeah, we had a bit of extra money to play with, and all in all, we had £1.26 left from our transport category. So then you move on to fun and entertainment. And like I mentioned previously, when it comes to our fun and entertainment, that money just gets allocated at the start of the month, and then we can take it and do what we like with it, which is why the number that we estimate and the number that we actually spend is always the same. So it doesn't necessarily mean that I spent all my money, or my husband or the kids have spent all their money. It just means that that money's gone and it's not going to come back to us, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's always as budgeted. So that was £260. Moving on to insurance, and life insurance came in at £46.74. Childcare, okay. So childcare was something that I've mentioned in previous videos recently that's going to be coming up soon, and I wasn't sure whether it was going to come or whether it wasn't going to come because of my work situation. But now that I've started work, I've actually enrolled my youngest son in nursery, so he started there already. And then my second son, so my middle son, he was doing half days at nursery, and he's now doing all days, so I have to pay for the afternoon sessions, and I have to pay the full price every day for him to go 3 days a week in the afternoon, which is fine fine, because what I had been doing up until now is setting money aside to go towards those expenses. So what you'll see here is nursery and after school club, which isn't actually after school club, it's actually afternoon session. So let me just change that now, actually. Afternoon sessions. Yeah, because he doesn't go to after school club. So what I've basically done is added the money for the nursery and after school sessions to my income so that it doesn't throw the budget off course, if that makes sense. So basically that money has been set aside separately. So I've added it to the income so that it can be allocated to pay for nursery and afternoon sessions for my son. Moving on to miscellaneous, and yeah, so we had a few miscellaneous house expenses, mainly IKEA. We went to IKEA to get one of those coat hanger things where you can hang up your coats when you walk in. And that's what we went to IKEA for. And don't ask me how we ended up spending £102. But you know, when you go to IKEA, you just see all these other things that you needed to buy, or you just get reminded of things that you need to buy. And I'm like, okay, since we're here, let's just get those bits that we need to get now while we're here, rather than doing a second trip unnecessarily. That was my logic anyway at the time. And that was how I justified spending the money that I spent. And then other miscellaneous expenses we had were the kids. So I mentioned that my son started nursery. So the youngest son, I ended up having to buy him a full uniform for him to go to nursery. Yes, he's 2, and yes, he wears uniform to his nursery. So extra, but it is so cute. See the little kids like in their little uniforms and their little bags. But yeah, so he started nursery, so I had to buy his uniform. And I think there was some other kids' expense as well, but I can't think off the top of my head what that may have been. But yeah, that was £45.97. Total, that took us over budget by £148.92. So you can see that again, things didn't go according to plan this month, and we spent more than we had planned to spend. Debt, obviously we've got that tax bill which I've spoken about previously that my husband's going to be paying up until the end of the year. So moving on, we have sinking funds, and sinking funds we budgeted £282.31. So specific, but that was basically the excess money we had left from last month, and that money is going to be going towards things that are going to be happening in the month of July. So July is like my birthday, my husband's birthday, our 10-year wedding anniversary, my sister's birthday, my sister's wedding. Like, there's a lot happening in July. Like, it's going to be a very busy month. We're trying to set aside as much money as we can to go towards those costs so that it's not too much of a shock come the end of June and we're needing to use all that money to pay for these things that are arising. So yeah, that is what that was. And then just finally, we have investments. We were only able to send £100 to our investment account in the month of May, which to be honest wasn't ideal. We would have loved to have sent a lot more, but it is what it is. We overspent so much in the month of April, so something had to give, and unfortunately that was one of the areas that had to be sacrificed. So it is what it is. £100 invested is still better than £0 invested, so it's all good. So then just moving on, you can see that the overspend for the month of May was £320.06. So yeah, not great, not ideal, not what I wanted to be seeing. What I was wanting to see here is a big fat 0, and £320 is not 0. So we're definitely going to be switching things up slightly in the month of June to hopefully avoid this happening at the end of June and yeah, beyond. It's obviously an improvement on last month, but last month was diabolical. So really, you can't be comparing this to how bad last month was, if that makes sense, because this is bad and that was just worse. But yeah, hopefully in the month of June, things are going to be looking up. We're going to be a lot more streamlined with our finances. We're going to have a lot more detail in the budget in itself. That will hopefully help us be able to stick to those budget categories in the month of June. I keep forgetting to actually mention, but if this is the first time watching, you may not know, but this tracker that I'm actually walking through and I use to budget my finances is available for purchase on my Etsy store and on my website as well. So I'll link it in the description box below, and I'll link it up here as well if it works for me to do so. But yeah, you can grab a copy of this tracker and yeah, use it for your budget. But that's what I wanted to do in today's video, is just really do a recap and confess my sins to you guys and show you how bad my May budget went. Again, like, I don't understand, this keeps happening month on month, but yeah, it's better than April, but it's still not where I want it to be. And hopefully in the month of June, I can really start to streamline this and get better at actually sticking to the budget in which I've allocated myself. So definitely watch this space to see how I get on and see if I can actually get on top of this budget and get this budget working effectively for us, because this overspending every single month is just getting annoying. It's not helpful in terms of actually helping us reach these financial goals in which we're working towards. So like me spending over £100 at IKEA when what I wanted to buy only cost £10 is not good at all, and I definitely need to do better better, and I will do better hopefully in the month of June. I'm only human, guys. It just goes to show that, do you know what I mean, we all make mistakes and we can't get it perfect every time, but it's just about being intentional really, and just trying and just sticking at it and making amends where you can. Look at where you go wrong and just see what you can do to do better the next month. You can only try your best, and that's all you can really do, and that's what I'm doing. And hopefully you guys enjoy the transparency and authenticity. Like, I could just come here and lie about the numbers, but there's no point in doing that. I don't think that's helpful to you, and that's helpful to me either. There's no point, yeah, because I know the truth either way. So yeah, it is what it is. We'll do better in the month of June. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you haven't yet done so, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on my next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.